Hey everybody, welcome to Cameron High School. We had a change in times, but not the right change in time for the huddle camera. So we were about 5 minutes late getting on, and I was scrambling to find the right people to get this huddle camera going so y'all had a view of the screen. But it looks like we're ready, so I'm going to start our intro information. And I will be back with you with the stats and what we're looking at for tonight's matchup. And I'll be back with you here in just a moment.
Everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, give me up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Okay, welcome to Cameron. Gotten about that. I'm simply going to pray my screen does not go black like it is showing for me right now. There, she's back. We got 6 minutes until game time. And a few stats to go over with you. This is going to be a game. Hayward comes in number 1 in the count. An incredible season for the Hayward Hurricanes. Cameron, on the other hand, at 19-4. A great season for the Comets. And their only conference loss was to these Hayward Hurricanes. For the players tonight, the leading scorer for the Hurricanes is going to be number 31, a sophomore, Cordelia Geisler, averaging 12 points a game and shooting an impressive 35% from the three-point line. Followed by Grace Schmidt, we're number 33, and she is a senior, averaging 9.5 points a game and a field goal percentage of 55%, so a very good field goal percentage. Sounds like she gets a lot of rebounds underneath, goes back up with them, and does a lot of scoring inside. Rounding out the leading scorers for the Hurricanes, Holly Fromell, a senior, averaging 9.5 points a game and shooting 30% from the three-point line, so another one they're going to have to keep an eye on. For rebounding, Grace Schmidt is averaging 5.3, Cordelia Geisler 4.7, and Charlie Christensen, a senior, averaging 3.1. So some pretty even rebounding there for Hayward. Assists, Melody Isham, a senior, averaging 3.5 assists per game, followed by Geisler at 2.4 and Grace Schmidt at 2. For the Comets, Bridget Moans all year been leading the scoring, a junior, averaging 14.1 points per game, and her three-point percentage is 36%, and that's very impressive. She's followed in scoring by freshman Aggie Schmidt, averaging 13.5 points per game and an impressive 52% field goal percentage. And where you'll see that is she gets a lot of fast breaks. You're not going to catch her, and she finishes nicely on them at the basket. Plus, she drives in a lot and gets inside and puts up some nice inside moves to score in the paint. Third in scoring for the Comets is Bailey Olson, a junior, averaging 12.7 per game and shooting 33.3% from the three-point line. Rebounds all year have belonged to senior Anna Baraboo, averaging just over 9 rebounds a game, including over half of them being offensive rebounds. And her points come in right after those rebounds. So she has been a threat. She's somebody they're going to miss next year. This is her final regular season game, and tonight is senior night. The Comets only have 2 seniors. So they're going to honor them, I believe, after the game. There is a shot maybe at halftime, but it's usually after the game they do that. Inez Schmidt, a junior, averaging 7.2 rebounds a game, followed by Aggie Schmidt, averaging 5.8 rebounds a game. The assists are led by Inez Schmidt, the junior, averaging 3.2 per game, and Aggie Schmidt, 3.1 per game, so very close there, followed by Bailey Olson at 2.4. And a lot of those assists are coming on these fast breaks because these girls are fast, and a lot of passing as they get right underneath the hoop. Some nice assists and really unselfish basketball, super fun to watch. This is the closest tail of the tape that I've had all year for the Comets. The Comets are averaging 65 points a game, and the Hurricanes are averaging 60 points per game. But a factor I see here, points against. The Comets are giving up about 44 points a game, but the Hayward Hurricanes are only allowing 34 points per game. So definitely something in favor of the Hurricanes. The three-point percentage as a team, 31% by Hayward, very impressive. Comets normally out shooting everybody at 28% as a team, but Hayward slightly better there. The free throw line belongs to the Hurricanes, averaging 64% from the free throw line. Comets are just under 50%, but like I told you in the last broadcast, that's been climbing every game. The Comets started out very slow this year from the free throw line and have been getting better all season, which we love to see, especially heading into the playoffs. Rebounds per game belong to the Comets. They're averaging 36 rebounds a game compared to Hayward's 25, and that definitely could be a key in this game. Assists per game are about even at 12.5 apiece. Steals per game, which is something that is very uncommon. The Comets normally lead that by a lot. And in this case, the Comets are only averaging 2 more steals per game than the Hurricanes, so the Hurricanes do have quickness. Turnovers per game, Hayward in a little better position, averaging 15 a game. The Comets are averaging 18 a game. In the last 10, both squads are 9-1, so both squads coming into this are red hot. The last time they met was January 16th up in Hayward. The Comets lost a close game. The score was 62-52, but that was a 2 to 4 point game throughout. It just ended up being some fouls at the end of the game, and Hayward went to the line and hit those free throws. So we're going to get ready for the introductions and the national anthem. So I will stand by.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to tonight's Heart of North Conference basketball game between the visiting Hayward Hurricanes and our own Hayward Comets. The WIA, Hayward High School and Cameron High School have a long-standing reputation for quality sports competition and outstanding athletes. In order to retain that reputation and make this a positive educational experience, we ask that athletes, cheerleaders, coaches, and fans conduct themselves in a sportsmanlike manner. At this time, to honor America and those defending our freedom, please stand, remove your hats, and listen to juniors Brooklyn Jenkinson and Autumn Rundle for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
Okay, great crowd on hand tonight for this. Well, it's got playoff implications. This is going to be a battle. For those of you that weren't with us on Tuesday, just a little reminder of the playoff picture. The Comets have a number 2 seed, and we'll be waiting for the winner next week on Tuesday of Chautauqua and Prairie Farm. So we'll be back with you next Friday night here in Cameron at 7 p.m. for the Cameron's first round of the playoffs. And as long as the Comets win that one, they will play Saturday night here in Cameron. So Cameron will be on Friday, Saturday, 7 and 7. And on that night, they may be facing the number 3 seed Shell Lake Lakers if they're able to hold off who they are playing on Tuesday. So for the Hayward Hurricanes, starting is number 15, Holly Frommel, a senior. Number 23, Melody Isham, a senior. Number 25, Charlie Christian, a senior. Number 31, Cordelia Geisler, a sophomore. And number 33, Grace Schmidt, a senior. And for the Comets, we are starting number 2, Aggie Schmidt. Number 11, Inez Schmidt. Number 13, Bailey Olson. Number 24, our only senior starting, Anna Baraboo. And number 34, the leading scorer for the Comets, Bridget Mones. Inez Schmidt will take the jump with the Hurricanes. I don't anticipate this to be as high of a scoring game as the Comets usually get into. The Hurricanes are a good defensive team, very tall and very quick. So this is going to be a battle. But I believe the Hurricanes go to Division III for tournament, so the Comets will not meet them in the tournament play. Well, after a jump ball and scrap, the Comets come up with it, and Aggie Schmidt with that drive to the basket kicks it over to Inez. Inez is wrapped up pretty close there at the three-point line. Kicks it over to Mones. Back to Inez on top. Hits Baraboo, posted up at the free throw line. And Aggie Schmidt comes in on a drive again. And blocked by Frommel. She was waiting for, and she got a clean block on Schmidt driving to the basket. So the Comets looked inbounds. Pass was a hair late to Schmidt. And it looks like Geisler sat on that one and got the block on Schmidt. So that's 2 blocks already for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes missed the layup, but the Comets right back with it quickly. Working the ball around. Bailey Olson in the corner. On top to Bridget Mones. Over in the corner. On top to Inez Schmidt. She gets a good look at the basket. Just came up short on that one, but that's a good shot. And Hayward quickly the other way. Isham on top. Went to pass. Lost the handle. Bridget Mones driving. Backs off. Hits Bailey Olson. Open for the 3. Comes up a little bit short on that one. Mones was fighting for the rebound. Got it over to Aggie Schmidt. Kicked it to her sister Inez, and she shot the same spot as the last time. This time she drains it. She's got a great shot from that area. Going to hit that shot more times than not. Ooh, Inez Schmidt. Been in foul trouble a couple of games. She gets a lot of steals, but got a little bit too much hand on that one. So Inez with her first one. We'll have to hope she don't draw too many here earlier, or she'll be going to the bench. And she definitely somebody we need on the court for the Comets. So Geisler with it. Into Christensen, and she popped it out to Isham for a 3. Came up short. Little tie-up for the rebound there, but Inez Schmidt came out of it cleanly. Her and Geisler were briefly fighting for it, and a quick jump ball call. Hurricanes get it this time. Inez Schmidt got her hand up at the right time. I was actually watching her. Her back was to it, but she put her hand up like a good defender in football and knocked it away. Well, a nice drive to the basket by the Comets. They tried to get it up. No luck. Hayward comes up with the loose ball. Geisler gets it back to Isham on top again. Who's covered closely. It looks like the Comets are kind of playing a zone this time. Pass inside to Grace Schmidt. She went up with it. Didn't get it to go, but Christian got the rebound. Little turnaround jumper, and she ties it at 2 apiece. Comets quickly the other way. Aggie Schmidt's getting trapped down in the corner. Inez Schmidt had a great idea. She had Bailey Olson cutting from the backside, fired a good pass, but Hayward's tall and quick, and them are going to be tough to sneak in unless they're wide open. Well, all I can say is the ref was right there. Hayward tipped the ball, but he said they tipped it, and it went off Bailey Olson's hand. Gessler brings it up. A little bit of an errant pass there to Christian. Bailey Olson's able to come up with it. She fires it inside. Aggie Schmidt goes up with it, but she's hit on the way up by Frommel. Hayward is definitely contesting every inside shot, as they should. But the Comets, even though they're quick, are not getting the easy looks they've had with a lot of these other teams. And Aggie Schmidt misses her first. Nice looking free throw, just came up a hair short. Second one's up and in. Isham throws it over to Frommel. Guarded closely there by Inez Schmidt. Back to Isham. Schmidt had a hand on that one. They tried to pass it across. Bridget Moans picked that one off. But Geisler reached in, swatted it away, but caught the arm of Moans. And that's Geisler's first. Moans with it over in the corner to Bailey Olson. She fires a three. Doesn't get it to go. Inez Schmidt fighting with Grace Schmidt for the rebound. Tied up again. This time it's Comet ball. And the Comets are definitely going to have some snap on their passes tonight because these Hurricanes are all over the court. They're going to contest every pass, and they got the height and the length to do it. An excellent test for the Comets. Aggie Schmidt drives in, feeds it to Anna Baraboo. She took one too many steps as she went to her left hand. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a travel or a foul, but she traveled right before the foul. Geisler in. They're moving the ball quickly inside. They got it into Christian, and she hits for another two. Aggie Schmidt down to Bailey Olson, who fires it right to the middle to Bridget Moans, who was cutting. Almost picked off, but Bridget muscled it through and got up and was fouled. They called that one on Grace Schmidt, number 33. And Moans hits her first one, so we have a 4-4 ball game. And Moans hits both of them. Free throw is definitely going to be a factor in a tight game like this. The Hurricanes bring it back. Isham across the top, guarded closely by Aggie Schmidt. Kind of a bad pass by Christian. Aggie Schmidt's able to pick it off and take it the other way, and she was almost fouled going up with that one. But no call, and we play on. Geisler tried to pass it in. That one tipped away and in the hands of Anna Baraboo. And the Comets quickly the other way. Bridget Moans over to Bailey Olson. Out to Aggie Schmidt, back to Bridget Moans. A little long on the three. Anna Baraboo's able to come up with it. She tried to get it out to Bailey Olson, but it went right into the hands of Geisler. And the ref called what is like a double dribble. She was juggling it in her hands, kind of hand getting underneath the ball. And when she spun around, the ref is indicating that was a travel. Mullins inbounds to Anna Baraboo. Nice little fadeaway jumper. Came up a little bit short. And Gessler quickly the other way. Gessler to Frommel on top. Over to Isham, who drives in. Kind of off balance. I'm going to guess that one to be on Anna Baraboo. It'd be her first. And that's the call. So, with just over 13 minutes left in this first half, Comets are up 7-4. But the Hurricanes, good free throw shooting team. Isham there hits her first. But misses the second. Baraboo with the rebound up to Aggie Schmidt. Over to Bridget Moans. She had Inez Schmidt for a second. But a very quick cutting in Grace Schmidt picked that pass off, and the Hurricanes bring it back the other way. They pass it around down the corner to Geisler. She drives in. Gave her the continuation off the board and in. That foul's on Bailey Olson. So Geisler's first time to the line. Came up short. Aggie Schmidt with the rebound. Bailey Olson was hoping for it a little bit quicker, but there was two Hurricanes back waiting in the wings anyhow. A lot of Comet passes getting tipped, but fortunately they haven't lost too many. Inez Schmidt with it on top. Drives in. Got such nice length and ability to drive to the basket and finish. Fun to watch, and Inez Schmidt with two, and the Comets with a 9-7 lead. Almost a turnover there as Isham fed it in to Frommel. Isham thought it was a give and go. Frommel thought it was just a give. So they got lucky that that pass actually got tracked down by a teammate, because that could have easily been a turnover. The inbounds pass was able to be saved by the Hurricanes. And Schmidt with it on top. Over to Geisler. They work it in. Back to Frommel for a shot. Missed that one. Bailey Olson tried to rifle it down to Inez Schmidt. But again, Hayward gets a hand on it. Knocks it out of bounds. Inbound to Bailey Olson. Pass it around the horn to Inez Schmidt for about that 15-footer again. Hits. Nice looking shot there for Schmidt. Comets, good pressure on their defense. But the Hurricanes were able to get it into Grace Schmidt. She took it to the basket. Moans on top. Over to Bailey Olson for a baseline three. She hits it, and the Comets could use her getting hot right now. Comets out to a 14-9 lead at the moment. But the Hurricanes are not going away. Geisler with it on top. Looked to feed it in on a cutting Isham, but kicked out of bounds by Anna Baraboo. And the Hurricanes with a few subs coming in. Number 3, Addie Actor. And number 13, Riley Quarterer. Geisler to inbound it. It's Actor, number 3, who's new in the game. Geisler tried to feed it underneath, but the pass was a little too high. Nobody touched it. Out of bounds. Comet ball. So Aggie Schmidt brings it up. Hayward definitely extending their defense And Bailey Olson with a quick three, a nice pass across court to her, and she fired it quickly. This came off the back of the iron a little bit too hard. And Hayward quickly the other way, a little loose ball. Passed ahead to Aggie Schmidt. And Comets with what has been a rare turnover basket. Hayward's been getting back pretty well. Oh, and a nice dive in. Steal by Anna Baraboo, tipped it to Bridget Moans, got it right back to her on a hustling Baraboo down the court. And the Hurricanes say we need a timeout as it is 18-9. Comets' biggest lead of the game and showing some great pressure on defense, scrapping for these loose balls. Let's take a word from one of our sponsors. Okay, I see Elite in Cedar Mall is tuned in. Glad to have those guys on, and they are right. It is going to be a good battle this evening. If I recall, the last time the Comets played the Hurricanes, they did have a lead in the first half, and the Hurricanes coming into this game are 21-2. So this team isn't going away this easily. Coach always makes some adjustments, and we'll see what the Hurricanes bring after this timeout. Geisler with it, tried to feed it in. They got it back to her. On top to Christian. Back to Geisler, who's guarded closely by Aggie Schmidt. The Hayward fans wanting a foul called, but refs not calling. They're letting them play. Geisler's left for an open three, in and out. Rebound. Actor was right there, took a step in and was able to finish that one. Comets back the other way. Moans up on top. Over to Bailey Olson. Back to Moans. Inez Schmidt. Bailey Olson on a cut into the basket. Oh, nice. She no sooner caught that one, laid it up one hand. Beautiful. Beautiful little floater there. Hayward gets it into Geisler. A lot of the offense going around Geisler. She gets it across the top to Actor. Over to Quarter. Back to Actor on top. And they reset with Christian. Into Quarter. She almost lost it there with Inez Schmidt. Tied her up there on the pass, but they called out of bounds. Off of the Comets. And in the game now, Quinn Grassman, number 20, replaces Bridget Moans. So the Hurricanes inbound. Get it back to Geisler. And Grassman is able to rip it away from her, but Geisler comes back and takes it right back. Actor with it, tried to get it into Geisler. Baraboo tried to get it ahead, a little low on the pass. It ended up in the hands of Aggie Schmidt. An excellent drive to the basket, but she did get tied up. Ref said it was a jump ball. Cameron Crowd not really a fan of that call. Either way, Hayward comes back the other way. Geisler with it on top. Over to Actor. She thought about a three. Grassman quickly over to cover her on that. Quarter with it on top. Works it down the baseline. Actor just beyond the three-point line, guarded closely by Aggie Schmidt. Over to Geisler. She lost a handle going in, got it back, and is able to finish. So the Comets up 20-13. Bailey Olson gets it over to Inez Schmidt on the baseline, right on the three-point line. Just off the mark slightly, and the Hurricanes back the other way. Gessler for three, shoots it over the basket, right to Inez Schmidt. Gets it over to Bailey Olson, back to Schmidt. Across the court, kind of a dangerous pass with as quick as Hayward is, but they complete it. Aggie Schmidt down to Quinn Grassman. Tough spot down there in that corner. And Gessler went for the reach in to steal the ball, and I believe that's her second. Bridget Moans back in the game. This time Bailey Olson's going to have a seat. Inbound to Inez Schmidt. Over to Bridget Moans. Down to Quinn Grassman in the corner. She fires a three, and that goes in and out. It rimmed right inside and popped out. And Hurricanes quickly ahead. Inez Schmidt got her hand on that one, tipped it up, but the Hurricanes were able to come down with that loose ball. Bridget Moans all over both defenders, covering that side of the court very well. Aggie Schmidt over here, and Aggie Schmidt's able to come up with the steal. I'm guessing we're going to have a foul. I seen the way Corder was coming in, and she did not have a spot to actually get in front and try and draw an offensive. So she aggressively went for the ball and got the foul. So Aggie going to the line, shooting two. And Geisler has a seat. She has two fouls, but she's just coming out for a quick break. And Aggie Schmidt this time missed them both. And the Hurricanes back the other way. Actor tried to get it over to Isham. Bridget Moans was able to get her hands on it with the steal. And I guess it ended up out of bounds off Moans. They weren't looking to call the foul there, as Isham kind of looked like she dove into Moans, but the ref was right there. Isham with it on top. They work it in, back out to Actor, back over to Isham. Gets it to Corder. Back on top, and with Isham back in the game and Gessler out. Quinn Grassman looked like she was getting the steal. And the foul was actually called on Grassman, number 20, as she had went for the steal, but apparently they were believing that number 3 had the position there. So refs not making any fans in the Cumberland or in the Cameron section this evening. Actor with it, driving baseline. Nothing doing there. She kicks it out. Isham got the ball, took a step before she was able to put it down, and traveling is the call. And Geisler comes back in the game. Moans brings it down. Had Bailey Olson open for a second, but quickly the defense collapsed out there on her. Got it back around to her, and she had that step. Hits it. A big three for the Comets there. Another one baseline for Bailey Olson, and Geisler brings it back down. Tried to get it inside to Frommel, but it went off her leg, and the loose ball came up with the Comets. Moans over to Aggie Schmidt with that one. Eggie over to Bridget Moans. They got it down the corner to Bailey Olson. Boy, Hayward is covering that quickly now. As they tried to pass it into Inez Schmidt in the middle, Grace Schmidt came up from behind and bumped into her. That's her second foul. And in the game now is Abby Laird. Comets inbound. Got out to Quinn Grassman. Over to Bailey Olson, who starts driving to Aggie Schmidt. Out to Quinn Grassman, who drives to the basket. You kind of sense what was going to happen in there. There's some tall girls in there that enjoy blocking shots. Inez Schmidt comes up. And Geisler tried to fire that and did not get it. And the Comets quickly the other way ahead to Bailey Olson, and Aggie Schmidt running the floor, gets the pass and finishes. Grassman covering Isham on defense. Gets called for the foul. And Baraboo checks back in for Grassman. So Grassman drew, well, it's showing one on the board, but she had two. Geisler with it. Passes it over to Christian. Geisler back on top with it. Almost looked like Isham is clearing out with her elbow as she goes around Schmidt. And a battle inside for the ball. And they call Inez Schmidt with her second. So to keep Inez out of foul trouble, they put her on the bench with 3 minutes, 5 seconds left in this first half. The foul was on the ground before the shot. There was a little bit of mix up there. They thought they were going to be in the bonus. They're not yet. They will be on the next foul. They'll go to the free throw line. But this time it's an inbound for the Hurricanes. Isham to inbound it. She found Christian open on the inside of Aggie Schmidt, and she was able to finish. Bailey Olson the other way. Ooh, Aggie Schmidt missed the sign from Olson, but fortunately Moans was there. The shot came up short. Quinn Grassman was scrapping inside, got it, went right back up. Was hit that time by Frommel, and that's her second. So I was on number 15. And Grassman hits her first. But a very physical first half here. And Grassman hits them both. Gives the Comets a 27-15 lead with 2 minutes, 47 seconds left here in this first half. It seems like it's going quick. Actor to Isham. Gets it on top to Frommel. She almost lost the handle. Grassman is all over her. She drives in. A little hard off the rim. Loose ball. Grassman's able to pick it up. Comes quickly the other way. Fires it around to Moans and to Olson. Now to Baraboo. Back out to Olson. She comes in on a nice floater. Doesn't get to go. Aggie Schmidt with the rebound. Somehow she got that ball up there but didn't get it to go. Rebound to the Hurricanes. Isham with it on the corner. Back again to Frommel. Working it around to Actor. Back on top to Isham, who's kind of kind of controlling the offense from the top up there. Christian, number 25, was getting banged into by Aggie Schmidt, number 2. That's Aggie's second foul. And the bonus, so it sends Christian to the line. Shooting the 1-and-1. Well, she hits the first, she gets one more. And she hits them both. So, Comets with a 10-point lead with 1:50 left in this first half. Bones tried to get it to the post there to Anna Baraboo. Gets knocked away. She chases it down. Out to Bailey Olson. Around to Grassman. She looks at the defense. Decides to cut in. Over to Aggie Schmidt, who's really quick. Out to Bridget Moans for a 3. Comes up a hair short. Aggie Schmidt had a great position for that rebound, but wasn't able to come up with it. Hayward got it, and they're coming the other way. Isham on top. Over to Actor, who got it down low in the post. And there's Frommel with it. As she spun to the basket, Aggie Schmidt was right there, but unfortunately for her, she just collected her 3rd foul. And Coach Wanek says we cannot get another foul on Aggie Schmidt. So Ashlyn Candler making her first appearance here in the first half. Number 25 comes in the ball game, and Aggie Schmidt's going to sit out until half with Inez just to prevent the foul trouble. And Frommel hits her second. Well, Bailey Olson brings it up. Comets don't need to be in a hurry. They got a 9-point lead right now. Bridget Moans with it. Over to Candler. Candler back to Moans. Oh, a nice pass inside. They got it to Candler as she cut. Bailey Olson started a back cut, and Candler found her on a perfect pass, and Bailey Olson went up and was fouled. That was a nice looking play where they just kind of read each other, and as soon as Candler cut to the middle, Bailey Olson backdoored, and beautiful pass. Bailey Olson misses her first. Comets still a little work to do at the free throw line. Well, nice looking second free throw for Olson. She hits 1 out of 2 there. And the Comets with a 10-point lead, 52 seconds left on the clock. Isham brings it down. Across the top to Actor, back to Isham. She finds Christian in the post. Back outside to Isham, almost lost the handle. Got it over to Actor. Gets it over to Frommel. She starts to drive, thinks better of it. They work it around to Isham, and now into Laird, who finds a cutting Christian. Some good ball movement there. Good pass inside and a good finish. Moans with it. Over to Bailey Olson. Bridget Moans. Bailey Olson's able to fire a last-second shot. Comes a little hard off the rim. But both sets of fans pleased with the performance of their teams. Everybody showing good support as the Comets have a 28-20 Okay, I found some statistics for you. First half scoring summary for the Hayward Hurricanes. Number 3, Addie Actor, Maggie Schmidt with 6. Inez Schmidt with 6. Bailey Olson with 9. Quinn Grassman with 2. Anna Baraboo with 2. And Bridget Moans with 2. So a little bit more balanced scoring on the side of the Comets. For those, the Chautauqua Bulldogs will be playing the Prairie Farm Panthers on Tuesday, and the winner of that will come to Cameron on Friday night. So Friday night, the Comets will have their first round of the playoffs, and they will be hosting the winner of the Chautauqua Prairie Farm game. Pending the Comets win that one, as they should, they will be facing possibly the Shell Lake Lakers, who are the 3 seed Comets for the regional championship next Saturday night. After that, the Comets, with a win, would possibly be facing the number 1 seed in their side of the bracket, the Colfax girls basketball. I see they, I believe, are 20-3 right now, and they have the number 1 seed in this part of the sectional. And that would be on Thursday night the following week. So this is a lower scoring game than the Comets have been involved in quite a bit. They average 65 points a game. They're not too far behind it, but it's definitely been a battle. The Hurricanes are excellent on defense, but the Comets definitely showing their aggression on defense. They are super fast, get their hands on a lot of passes, and definitely have caused a few more turnovers than the Hurricanes have. But the Hurricanes have really been able to stop the driving of the Comets with quite a few blocked shots here in the first half. So we're going to be in for definitely a battle this second half. I look for this game to stay at this 8 points or even get a little bit tighter as the second half goes on. The Hurricanes have a few players with 2 fouls, but the Comets have Aggie Schmidt with 3. So she's the only one that we will say is technically in foul trouble right now. Inez Schmidt has 2 fouls. As we get ready to start this second half, the Comets are going to have the ball. It looks like the starting lineups for both teams are exactly who's out to start this second half. Aggie Schmidt will be inbounding to Bridget Moans as we have 18 minutes left in this Heart of the North Conference Championship game. If the Comets win, they will be co-conference champions. If the Hurricanes are able to pull this one out, they will be the solo conference champion. Comets work the ball around. Bridget Moans from the corner on a drive. Inez Schmidt spots up for a 3. Came up a little bit short. Out of bounds, Hayward ball. Hayward the other way. Works it inside to Christian, their leading scorer. Kicks it back out to Isham. Over to Geisler. Frommel's calling for it. Into Christian. Back out to Frommel. And they're trying to, it looks like they're trying to post up Christian inside. Geisler picked up her dribble. Mullins almost with a steal as she passed it over. Frommel with it in the corner, guarded by Inez Schmidt. She drives in a bit. They kick it back out. Geisler with it on the corner. She tries to feed it inside to Christian again. She takes a couple steps, drops it off to Frommel. She misses, but Grace Schmidt with the rebound. A long shot there by Gessler, but she missed long. And as Schmidt trails it down, Works it over to Moans. To Schmidt, back to Moans. And the Comets resetting. Anna Baraboo's kind of posting up in the middle, setting some screens. Inez Schmidt to that corner, about that 15-footer. That's a great shot for her. She hit a couple in the first half, and she hits this one in the second. Hayward back the other way with Frommel on top to Schmidt. Works it around to Isham, back to Frommel. As she's just outside the three-point line, guarded by Aggie Schmidt. Kicks it over to Gessler, tries to work it inside to Christian. Back to Frommel, a little turn move. Blocked by Inez Schmidt. Frommel, after spending a little bit of time there in the lane, crowd wanted the 3-second call. Doesn't get it. She spins on Inez Schmidt and draws the foul. So that's Inez Schmidt's third foul. Definitely going to have to be careful. Frommel misses her first free throw. And she hits on the second. So Aggie Schmidt brings it up past half court. Over to Inez. Out to Bailey Olson. And Hayward is stretching their defense right out there beyond the three-point line. Almost loses that one. Aggie Schmidt's able to trail it down. Bridget Moans was open briefly underneath, calling for it, but by the time they got it to her, she was covered. They get it back to her. She drives, runs into some traffic, gets tied up. Jump ball. This time it goes to Hayward. So Isham brings it up past half court as Schmidt waits for her. Grace Schmidt drives underneath with a nice over-the-back basket. And then gets a steal of Bailey Olson. A little bit of controversy on the contact there by the fans, but either way, no call. We play on. Aggie Schmidt's able to knock it out of bounds the other direction. But it's Hayward ball. And Christian inside. Misses. Bailey Olson had the ball. Schmidt tried to steal it from her again. This time, Schmidt gets called. So that's her third foul. And the coach calls Corder quickly up off the bench. And Schmidt takes a break. So Bailey Olson to inbound. Inez with it on the corner. Out on top to Baraboo, who sets kind of a screen for Aggie Schmidt. She fires a shot. Hayward gets a hand on it, so it doesn't get up there, and they get their own rebound. Isham drives in, kicks it back out to Geisler. She fires up the shot. Almost a soccer-style move. And as they fast break it up the court and get it ahead to Aggie Schmidt, they said as she was transitioning, catching the ball, she traveled. And Hayward back the other direction. Corder with it. Back up on top. Isham has it. As they're setting some screens for her on top, she pulls up. Geisler with it. Tries to get into the post. Knocked away by the Comets. Aggie Schmidt starts up the court and is fouled. That foul goes on Frommel, her third. Bailey Olson with the inbounds pass. Ahead to Bridget Moans. Fires it underneath to a cutting Inez Schmidt. A nice cut and pass pass from Moans to Inez Schmidt and a nice finish. Fun to watch that kind of basketball. Isham drives in, loses the handle. Inez Schmidt comes up with it, fires it all the way down. Aggie Schmidt's able to pull it down in between two defenders and put it up. So a couple quick transition points here for the Comets. Hayward trying to sneak that pass in. As Inez Schmidt takes off with the ball. Quarter got in her way. So Hayward does not like the trend that's going on right now. The momentum seemed to definitely shift to the Comets. And we will hear from a quick sponsor.
Everyone knows me as Maddie, but here I'm Master Sergeant Hefner.
You can't stop this. Ha. So let's go.
This is my life in the Air National Guard.
You can't stop this. Never. Let's go.
Well, the second half continues to be as physical as the first half was. The other thing I will say is the refs are calling it what I believe the same both directions. And that's all you can hope for, is that it's not a one-sided call, and the refs are definitely calling it both ways. So I give them credit for that, but it is a very physical game. And Baraboo tried to get it inside after the pass and go up with it, but she was fouled. And it looks like she was fouled by Quarter, who picks up her third. And Anna Baraboo, one of the top free throw percentage shooters for the Comets, hits her first opportunity at the free throw line. Well, Inez Schmidt and Geisler challenge each other for the rebound. Inez says, if you want to step out of bounds, I'll let you hold the ball. And she did, fell for it, and out of bounds, Comet ball. Moans inbounding. Dana Baraboo on top. Back to Moans, nice drive to the basket. Stuff really opened up there for her. Wasn't able to get that one to drop. Rebound, Hurricanes, and they come the other way. Actor with it, over to Isham. Into Christian in the middle. She kind of gives a little check to Aggie Schmidt, and Aggie said, well, that's fine, but I'm going to grab the ball while you're doing it, and tied her up, and this time the jump ball goes to the Comets. Schmidt to Moans, over to Bailey Olson. If they're going to leave her alone, she's taking that one. Hits a high percentage from that corner there. Missed that one, though. Well, as Aggie Schmidt and the Hurricane were going for the ball, they felt as if, from his angle, Aggie Schmidt pushed the other girl. So that is Aggie Schmidt's fourth foul. So she's going to be sitting for a little bit with 4. Quinn Grassman, number 20, in for her. And Hayward comes the other way. Into Quarter, out to Isham. Over to Actor. Actor back again with it. Inez Schmidt got her hand on it, then got it away from her. Grassman with a very athletic save as the ball was going out of bounds. Inez Schmidt got it to Bailey Olson, who looked like she did kind of that Euro step, but instead of shooting past, and the refs didn't like it and called the travel. Actor with it. Guarded now by Grassman. Over to Quarter. Back out to Isham. Over to Actors. They swing it around. Geisler with it in the middle. And they call the push there. And that one's on Bailey Olson. They're calling her for a push inside. It looks like it's only Bailey's second foul, though. Hayward inbounds it to Gessler. Guarded by Baraboo. Kicks it out. Actor to Isham, who drives baseline. Runs out of real estate. Kicks it over to Quarter, who is left open for a three. Doesn't get it to go. Inside, Schmidt grabs that rebound and puts it back in. And Moens brings it the other way to Inez Schmidt, who sees a gap and hits it. I seen where she was going when she took that quick step, and that side was open. She seen it and took it right to the basket. An excellent drive and finish by Inez Schmidt. Actor with it on top. Thinking about driving it on Grassman. I was assuming that was going to be a jump ball. Actor had her hand on the ball out by Grassman. Grassman had her hands on the ball, and they both held the ball going to the ground. This time the jump ball goes to Hayward. Grassman covering Actor again. Actor too hard. Schmidt's there again. Gets a rebound and puts it back in. The last four belong to Schmidt off rebounds for the Hurricanes. And a Baraboo with it. Nothing doing there. Gets it out to Moens. And as Schmidt drives, but she is stripped on the way up by Gessler. Tipped away by Moens in the hands of Bailey Olson. And she takes it all the way for two. And the Hurricanes bring it back the other way. Gessler on top. Isham over to Actor for three. Off the front of the rim, Gessler with the long rebound. She fires a three. She hits it. Bailey Olson to Schmidt. Over to Moens. Moens with the drive. Lost the handle. And Frommel with three fouls comes back in the game for Quarter. The referee spotted something on the floor. Called his timeout. Had to get whatever item that was off. So Hayward retains the ball, and we just start the sequence over. Geisler with it. Tried to sneak it in. Bridget Moens on the steal. Quinn Grassman comes the other way. Draws the foul on the way up. That foul on Gessler, that's her third. So we're getting a lot with three fouls. Aggie Schmidt, the only one with four, sitting on the bench here in front of us. So Quinn Grassman at the line. And she hits. She hits 1 out of 2. And Gessler bringing it the other way. Schmidt. Oh no. This one on Baraboo. So the second foul on Anna Baraboo. Frommel to the line. She hits her first one. And she hits them both. And the Comets take a timeout. So with 8 minutes, 22 seconds left in the second half, the Comets still hold on to the 8-point lead they had at halftime. And we'll hear a word from one of our Well, we definitely got an excellent ball game. Comets with 4 team fouls. The Hayward Hurricanes with 5 team fouls. So something the guys going to want to keep an eye on right there. Once you get to 7, you start shooting free throws. So with an 8-point lead and 8:22 left on the clock, the Comets inbound. Inez Schmidt to throw it in to Bailey Olson. Olson guarded on top by Actor. Olson on the drive. Well, fans not real excited about the jump ball call, which does this time go to the Comets. They thought it was a foul on the arm. Graspin had it, stole, but quickly got it back. And the Comets reset. With Inez Schmidt over to Bridget Moans, who's looking to drive baseline, and she cuts in inside. Bailey Olson flies in and grabs a rebound from underneath, and she resets the Comets. Quick pass into Bridget Moans. Bridget up off the backboard. Baraboo cleans that one up, is able to put it back in. Isham brings it down, fires it over to Actor. Framo with it, guarded closely by Grassman. She starts driving, pulls it up. Actor thinks about a 3, loses a handle. It's ahead to Grassman, to Schmidt, back to Grassman, and she is fouled. Wow, a quick exchange of passes between Grassman and Inez Schmidt going down the court. Schmidt, who you thought was going to go up with it, gives it that last second pass to Grassman, who takes it up, is able to make the basket and draw the foul. And that, for Holly Frommel, is her 4th. And the team's 6th foul. Grassman misses the 3-point opportunity on this end of the court, but did make the layup. Hayward working the ball around again. Geisler with it. On top to Schmidt. Over to Isham. A low pass to Geisler, but she's able to pick it up. Actor with it on top. Drives, kicks it over to Isham. She starts driving. Actor now. Drives. The foul there on Quinn Grassman. Her 2nd. And she was shooting, so they're going to give her 2. So the Comets with 5 team fouls now. And the Hayward Hurricanes with 6. So the next foul on the Hurricanes, no matter where it is, the Comets will be going to the free throw line. Well, Actor missed her first, but got her 2nd. Maggie Schmidt with it. To Inez Schmidt. Bailey Olson on top. She's thinking about driving. Backs back out. Takes off again. Comes inside. Stops in the middle. Grassman with it. Thinks about driving. Runs out of real estate. Bailey Olson tried to get it into Anna Baraboo, but it was tipped there by Christian. And the Comets quickly the other way. They get it down to Grassman, who quickly turns it over to Aggie Schmidt under the basket, and before the Hurricanes could come to block, she got that one off and got it to go. Christian with it on the other end, drives to the center into a lot of traffic. They called that foul on Bailey Olson. That's her third. And the Comets now with 6 team fouls as well. So with just under 6 minutes left, we're going to be shooting free throws the rest of this game when fouls occur. And Bridget Moen's back in the game for Quinn Grassman. Aggie Schmidt bringing it down. Up to Inez on top. Bridget Moens is flashing to the middle. Kicks it out to Bailey Olson, who sets up for a three. Comes off the side of the rim. Bridget Moens tried to track that one down, but just couldn't catch up to it. So, Geisler's going to bring it down. Over to Actor. On top to Frommel. And that, they called the foul on Bridget Moens. Fans definitely not happy with the officials on that one. And shooting the bonus, Frommel hits her first. Well, she hits both the free throws. And the Comets take a quick timeout. 5 minutes, 19 seconds left. The Comets with a 9-point lead. And we have just a brief time to hear from one of the sponsors. Well, it's only a guess for me, but I'm going to guess the Hurricanes are really going to be scrapping for the ball. And if they send the Comets to the free throw line, I think that's just what happens. Because with 5 minutes left, the Comets have been maintaining that 8 to 10 point lead the entire second half. Comets with it. Aggie Schmidt on the drive. Oh, nicely. I even thought she was going to take it around on a layup, and as she get halfway around, she quick pass, bounce pass to Anna Baraboo for a nice, easy shot. Excellent pass. Good catch and shot by Baraboo. Actor with it. Up on top to Geisler. Setting up the offense. Christian's fighting for position inside. Now comes up with Baraboo to the free throw line. Frommel now driving in. Rebound kicks out to Bailey Olson. And Coach Wanek is saying, let's slow this game down a little bit. Take your time. We got the lead. Inez Schmidt looked for the give and go to Baraboo. She didn't quite get far enough, and Inez Schmidt threw it over her, and a turnover. But Bridget Moens quickly the other way with a steal on the pass. She's able to finish. A big steal comeback there after the turnover. And it's able to extend the Comets' lead to 13. Gessler with it in the corner. Baraboo comes up, is able to knock that one away. Bridget Moens got it, and quickly Christian was over there and fouled her on that one. So Bridget Moans to the line, as it's the 7th foul, so she gets the bonus. And Anna Baraboo gets a critical rebound inside. Is able to dish it to Bridget Moans, who is cutting back in, and Bridget is fouled again. But this time she was fouled while shooting. So this time she's going to get 2 shots. And she hits her first. And more importantly for the Comets, Hayward is at 8 team fouls. So when they get to 10, the Comets automatically get 2 free throws instead of a bonus. And she hits 1 out of 2, and Baraboo's back again, fighting for the rebound. Ties it up, jump ball. This time it goes to Hayward. And for some reason, this game, I'm pretty sure we're not done with jump balls. There's been a lot of scrapping for jump balls this entire game. And the Hurricanes bring it up past half court with Gessler. They're down 14. We're going to have to start making something happen fairly quickly. We're under 4 minutes left in this Heart of the North matchup. Actor for 3, short off the front. Bridget Moans gets inside of a taller Laird and is able to pull that rebound down. Bailey Olson with it on top to Moans. Over to Inez Schmidt. To Aggie Schmidt. Moans with it on the corner. And the Comets are definitely flaring a player out near half court, making the Hayward Hurricanes come out and guard them, which also is going to help open things up inside. Bailey Olson with it. Over to Inez Schmidt. To Aggie Schmidt, and we're at 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, as it looks like the Comets are starting to stall at this point in time. Hurricanes are going to have to foul pretty soon if the Comets are going to be content with passing the ball around out here. I know sometimes for the fans it's not necessarily the funnest thing to watch, but it is a strategy to win the basketball game. Comets drive in, kick it to Anna Baraboo. She has a nice open shot, misses it. More importantly, the Comets get the rebound, and they start it over. And Hayward at about, if they don't start soon, they're never going to make it back. A little contact there, but Bridget Moans ends up at the out-of-bounds line and loses it with 2:07 left in this second half. Comets with a 14-point lead. Actor with it, trying to find somebody inside. Got it to Christian, over to Schmidt, back to Christian. Nice little move inside there, did not get it to fall. Inez Schmidt with the rebound, and I would have thought Hayward would have been about applying pressure from full court. We're at a minute 30, a 14-point lead by the Comets. And the Hurricanes aren't really pushing this one. I got to admit, I am surprised there has not been some fouling going on at about that 3-minute mark. We're closing in on a minute left in this first half, and I don't even think by any means that was intentional. That's a 4th foul on Christian with a minute 5 left. That's 9 team fouls, so Bailey Olson's going to shoot the 1-and-1. And with a nice soft touch off the front of the rim, she gets it to fall. Well, the Comets get both those free throws, and now their biggest lead of the game is 16. And we reached a 1-minute mark left in this Heart of the North conference matchup. The Comets have been thinking about this one since the loss on January 16th. The only thing I'll say about the loss on January 16th, Bridget Moans, the leading scorer for the Comets, was not there. That looks like that definitely played a huge factor in the game because the Comets have led this entire game. Hurricanes with the ball. A nice move by Christian inside again. This time she gets it to fall. And we are down to 40 seconds left. Comets with a 14-point lead. The fans excited. They know these Comets are going to be Heart of the North Conference champions. Actor comes over with the foul, going for the ball with 25 seconds left. And Bridget Moans will go to the line, and she'll be shooting 2 now. And she hits her first. A little short off the front of the rim there. Rebound to the Hurricanes. And with 20 seconds left, Gessler brings it down over to Actor. Actor dribbling around. The Comets not giving up on defense. Not sure what the call was there. I did not see it. I guess either way, goes to the Comets. Bailey Olson better get it past half court because the ref is counting her off. The Comet fans are on their feet here. They know they have the Heart of the North Conference champs, but more importantly, they just proved that they can beat the Hayward Hurricanes, who are 21-2 coming into this one. A great record for the Hayward Hurricanes. And the standings are already out for the seeding for the tournament, so for that it doesn't matter. But what does matter is the Heart of the North Conference Championship, which now is split between the Comets and the Hurricanes. So again, it is senior night. There are 2 seniors who are going to present with some little presents. And for the fans out there, next Friday, the Comets will be hosting at 7 p.m. the winner of Chautauqua and Prairie Farm. And assuming they may win that one, they will play Saturday night. And that could very well be against the number 3 seed Shell Lake Lakers. After that, it would be the following Thursday, would be the first round of sectionals. And the number 1 seed Colfax is on the other side of the bracket, and that is quite possibly who they would be meeting if Colfax makes it that far. So next week, the tentative schedule is Jay Cornell might be on the mic with you for the playoff games. So thanks for all your support this year. It was fun. I had a good time. Not certain I have a job in this field next year. We haven't talked that far, but thank you all for being here tonight, supporting the Comets, supporting We Are Cameron. Thanks for the opportunity. Have a great night, and coming up, have a great